Now there's a more modern, mobile-friendly Medicare plan finder especially for you. Whether you're at home on your desktop or tablet or on the go with your smartphone, it's easier than ever to learn the key differences between Original Medicare and Medicare Advantage plans before shopping for health and drug plans. Build your personal drug list and find drug coverage that best meets your needs, and quickly compare covered benefits in Medicare Advantage plans, including new extra benefits. For a faster, more personalized experience, create and use your online account. We've made that easier too. No matter where you are in your journey, Medicare Plan Finder can help you with your coverage choices. To try it out, go to Medicare.gov to get started. Find new features and sign up for Medicare emails at Medicare.gov. You can also follow Medicare on Twitter and Facebook to get our latest news and share this video. Paid for by the Department of Health and Human Services.
Yeah, so many questions about that open enrollment going on right now, and so many questions about what you can do to get more benefits.
So why not have the ultimate educator joining us this morning, Patty Price, who is a training and education coordinator with Shiip and SMP. Just to remind everybody, Shiip, what does that stand for?
Senior Health Insurance Information Program, and we are a free, unbiased, trustworthy Medicare resource for people in Iowa. Our volunteers, we have volunteer counselors, about 380 across the state, who donate a lot of time right now in helping people trying to compare their plans and making sure they make the right choices.
And one of the common things you hear people say if they have a plan that's in place right now, they say, oh, I don't need to touch it, it's working for me, and they say just let it roll, let it ride.
That's true. And the thing about with Medicare Part D, the prescription drug, when that was brought about in 2006, this is something that you get to look at every single year, and you have an opportunity to change. Matter of fact, last year we helped Iowans save more than $32 million. So sitting on your laurels and not doing something could cost you a lot more money. And you know, sometimes you don't need to change, but you don't want to find out in January that the plan that you're sitting in is no longer covering some of your, even your most expensive drugs.
And we just saw from that video that was on there, you want to make a list of what drugs you take on a regular basis and then use that when you start comparing, right?
Right. We need a list of drugs, the dosage, how often you take it, the pharmacies that you'd like to look at, and then our volunteers can go on. We go on the Medicare.gov website, which they have changed and updated this year to make it more secure with Medicare beneficiaries' personal information. They're asking you to create an account with a username and password, and we can sure help people to do that.
Now, you guys are fabulous about talking about tips and what you've been giving us so far, but also some opportunities of fraud. What are some things we might want to watch out for as we're looking at open enrollment right now?
Well, it's a busy time about Medicare, all kinds of ads on TV,
right.
And they know it's a time when Medicare beneficiaries are maybe looking at new choices. That's when the fraudsters come out. Maybe decide to call you over the phone. And people who are selling Part D and Medicare Advantage plans, they can't call you on the phone unless you're already in one of their plans.
Okay.
They can't just show up at your door. So, and Medicare doesn't need to call you to ask you for your Medicare number. Social Security doesn't need to call you to ask for your Social Security number. They already have those numbers.
Right.
So you want to be very cautious about who you're giving that information to over the phone.
What do you recommend? If someone receives a phone call like this, or maybe someone shows up at their door, how should they respond?
I would just, you know, I wouldn't talk to him probably. I'd say, you know, I need to talk to my Shiip counselor, or I need to talk to my son or daughter. I have an agent I'm using already, because there's a lot of places that you can go to get information. You don't have to talk to strangers who come to your door.
And the audience here is a prime audience for fraudsters.
Yes. We have a couple of major scams that are going on right now in Iowa. One is the brace, I'll call it the brace scam, ankle, back, neck brace.
Okay.
People call, they get your Medicare number, and all of a sudden you end up with boxes and boxes of braces that you don't need, and Medicare's being billed for the dollars.
Really?
Yes. The other one that's going on, and these are going on in Iowa, the other one that's going on right now is the genetic testing scam, where they call you up and they say, we could do a genetic cancer test on you, which is no more than a cotton swab that they send to you for you to swab your cheek, and then you send it back. You never get results. Some of the explanation of benefits we have seen from people in Iowa that Medicare has billed more than $21,000 for tests that are not covered by Medicare, but they find doctors that are willing to bill these things. And there is no reason to be getting medical equipment or having medical tests done that are not ordered by a doctor that you know. That's the person that should be ordering things.
They're not going to be offering these items or these services to you just out of a whim, out of the kindness of their heart.
Right, exactly, exactly. So to be very wary about that. And if you feel that your Medicare number has been compromised, you can call 1-800-MEDICARE to get a new card. You can call our agency. We are now the Senior Medicare Patrol for Iowa, which means that we report Medicare fraud. So if you feel you've been scammed or something like this has happened, or if a son or daughter feels mom or dad has been scammed, you can sure call our number to report that.
Right, you mentioned about the different services that are offered and not letting your current plan continue on without looking at some of the other options. What are some of the other options that people may not know they're eligible for?
Right. Well, first of all, if you're in a Part D plan, you want to take a look at that. This is also the opportunity maybe to get your Medicare benefits delivered in a different way. There's two ways that you can get your Medicare. One is through traditional or original Medicare. The other is through a Medicare Advantage plan. What we want you to do is carefully look at what these options are and how they might affect you. I would say it's not a one-size-fits-all with Medicare. Everybody has their own unique situation. Some people spend part of their winters. Those Iowans like to go other places in Iowa. They also have different medical needs. And so making sure that you know, is your providers, your doctor's hospital, are they in the network? With Original Medicare, you're looking at anyone who accepts Medicare. With a Medicare Advantage plan, they have a network of providers, and you don't want to find out that you get into something and then you can't go to your doctor or local hospital. The other thing you want to look at is cost.
That was my next question. Is there an extra cost for the Advantage?
A lot of your Advantage plans have no premium, or some do have a premium, but when you go to get health care services, you're going to have a cost. When individuals are in the Original Medicare, they're usually everyone is paying their Part B premium, whether you're in Original Medicare or Medicare Advantage. And this year, that premium is $135.50 a month for most people. Some people pay a little more. However, in Original Medicare, people usually pick up a supplement, or maybe they have an employer plan from a former employer that's coming in and picking up deductibles, co-insurance, co-pays. So there is a cost for that. But I look at it as you're prepaying a premium so that when you go to get health care services, you have little or no cost. Medicare Advantage, you're not paying much of a premium, but you're going to pay as you go. Kind of pay as you go. You're going to pay when you do need a service.
Let's talk about what it might cost to utilize the services of Shiip. Does that cost anything if we reach out and get some advice?
Our services are free and confidential. We don't sell anything. We're just here to try to educate and inform so that people know for their situation how to make an informed decision.
Because there might be some people watching now that are saying, I'd love to do this, but to be honest, they might be afraid to go and make a change like this.
Right. It is, well, it is scary. A lot of people don't like change, and particularly the older you get, you don't like change. But if it saves you money, and if your drugs or your prescriptions are not being covered, you're not going to take them. And that's not going to be a good thing.
Right.
And so we can look and see, you may not have to change at all. But if I could say you could save $1,000 a year if you change plans, or one of my clients just this last week, if she stayed with her plan, she couldn't go to her pharmacy she's been going to because next year they're going to be out of network. So going to that pharmacy, she'd be paying full cost. So either we need to change plans or we need to change pharmacies.
And you can help guide her in that direction.
Right, helping them to know. Now, we don't want to tell people what to do, but it's their choice. But at least you're not caught off guard and in a situation where you're going to spend a lot of money because you weren't prepared for that.
There's a lot of moving parts here.
You're seeing the website up on the screen right now. Realize it's Shiip with 2 I's, .iowa.gov. You can give them a call. That number we had on the screen, 351-4664. Also, if you'd like to report Medicare fraud, you can do that at medicare.gov, and that is a 24/7 resource and plan compare tool. Thank you so much for joining us today and letting us know about this wonderful opportunity for our older Iowans out there that might need some guidance. But think about it now, because that open enrollment is closing.
Call if you wanted to get a hold of Shiip and have our help. Our appointments are filling up fast. Best for you to call our 800 number. We'll look to see if our sites are available, or we'll try to help you in-house.
And when do we have to have everything in place?
October, you have between until December 7th.
December 7th.
To make a choice, and the choices you're making will go into effect January 1 of next year.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help and guidance this morning.
Thank you for having me here today.